Hey everybody, and welcome to Grumpy Acres. Today we are going to make pesto. Yep, so Miss Lippy, she's out there. I want you to check out her channel. She wanted to do a collaborative, and I think it started with Not a Real Farm, Miss Wanda from Crazy Days and Deep South Homestead, and Miss Lippy. So Miss Lippy, yesterday I was watching her video, and she said, okay, we're going to do a collaborative. Anybody that wants to join in, go ahead and jump in. And I thought, this would be fun. So I put some thought into it, and I was really thinking a lot on this. I rent outside to the garden. Now they're south, so they've got a lot more growth right now than we do. And so I went out, looked at my basil plants, and went, oh yikes! And I got about 1.5 cups. And so I thought, well, I may not be able to do this. And I thought, well, gosh darn it, we're getting in the times we're getting in. You better figure out how to substitute things. So I did. And so here's what we're going to do. You can actually substitute. You don't have to do all 2 cups of just basil. You can actually go ahead and add in some spinach with that. And that looks like 1 cup to 1 cup. In my case, I've got 1.5 cups, so I'm going to do a 1/2 cup of spinach. I had spinach out there, so I grabbed it. We've got it right here. And got my basil and all of that stuff right here. And so we're going to get that filled up. And so come with me. We're going to make basil. We're going to follow me. We're going to go ahead and we're going to make some pesto and join in. So this might be a little bit of a competition. I heard some words out there between Miss Lippy saying that she had the best one. I think Miss Walnuts also said she had the best one. And then Not a Real Farm, she said she had the best one. Okay, so we're just going to figure it out. I don't know if this is my best one. We're going to make a chicken basil, or excuse me, we are going to make a chicken pesto pizza after we get this finished, just so we can taste it and see what it's like. So here we go. All right. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to start with 2 cups of basil, or like I said, you can also substitute. So this is 1 cup. We're just going to throw it on in here. This is just the way that I do it. There's no rhyme or reason, so however you want. And then I got my spinach, and my spinach has been sitting here for a hot minute. We don't want grass in there. I did wash this out. All right. So you want to make sure that your 2 cups are packed. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm pressing down. I already had basil in there, so I just stem it all. I don't waste. I got a lot of grass in there. All right. Okay, that looks like a fresh pack. Oh, you look dry. We don't want you. And you look dry too. All right. Set this over to the side. Okay, now the other thing that I did is I wanted to get as much from the pantry as I possibly could. So these are my garlic cloves. You take 3 large garlic cloves and you say, what is that juice? So when I get my garlic, I peel back everything, get my cloves and stuff out, and I put them in a jar. I think we have the video in the back how to can garlic. So if you look down for playlist, you'll be able to find it. It's apple cider vinegar, and so I soak that in there. Now, if you don't like the vinegar taste on your garlic, you can simply wash it off. The olives on the garlic, don't soak it up. But with the vinegar, it's pickled, and so you want to eat 1 of those a day, and it keeps you healthy. So what we're going to do is we're going to add in, it's supposed to mince it. This machine will mince it, so I'm just throwing the cloves in. Then we're going to take 1/2 cup of Romano. You can also use Parmesan cheese if you want. Try to get it freshly grated, so buy it and then grate it. And then we're going to take 1/3 cup of pine nuts, throw that in there. Here's another interesting thing. With those pine nuts, they're expensive. I want to show you guys this. I couldn't believe it. This is 4 ounces of pine nuts, and it's almost $8. And I literally got the last 4 packages. So I wanted to find out, is there a substitute for pine nuts? Come find out there's 7 substitutes for pine nuts, and one of them is a macadamia nut. Another one is the shaved roasted almonds. So shave those down and then use that. You can use walnuts. There's just a ton of them in there. So if you already have stuff in your pantry and you've been putting things away, in fact, this is kind of a good pantry challenge. So I hope you all join the collaborative and figure out what you got and see if you can get stuff done. So then we've got that in there. So what's left? We need to put in a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Again, I use the Redmond salt. They're out of Utah. And then we need 1/2 cup of olive oil. Now make sure you use a good quality olive oil. You get a bad batch of olive oil, and bleh, just doesn't taste right. All right, throw that on in there. Excuse me. Okay. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Now we're going for black pepper. So the black pepper, you're going to do 1/8 to 1/4 teaspoon. Do it by taste, whatever you like. So I'm doing 1/4 teaspoon. All right, that's simple, guys. That's simple. So we're going to put a lid on it, if I figure out what I did with it. And let's start her up. All right, we're done. That's pesto. So now we're going to put it to use. And here, let me show you. Let's see if I can just take this. Oops. That's it. That's the pesto. That's all we're doing here. So now you can can it up, throw it in the refrigerator, make large piles of it, and then you can go ahead and can that. And that's going to be, let's see, with what we got here. Excuse me again, I don't know, allergies. I've got a lot of stuff going on. So I would say that you could probably just go ahead and water bath this and do about 20 minutes, 30 minutes maybe, and then set it over to the side, and I think you'd be fine. And then you could put that up on the shelf and have all the pesto that you want in the world. So nothing outside is going to waste, and you can have that in there. So I want to do something. I want to taste it because we did put the spinach in there. You know, I grew up with a lot of picky people, and they're very particular about their pesto. Miss Angel ADC. Oh man, that is really good. Okay, I'm gonna remember that one. Yeah, okay guys, substitute. Do what you need to do. And I think I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to challenge you to see what you have in your pantry and in your garden to go ahead and do this. I hope you join us on this journey. Make sure to check out Miss Libby's page. Check out Miss Wanda's page. Miss Lippy is Lippy, and it's MSLIPPY. And then Miss Wanda over at Crazy Days in Deep South Homestead and Not a Real Farm. So thank you guys for letting me come on in and do that. I really appreciate it. Shout out to you guys for constantly challenging everybody to get it done. Let's turn this into a pantry challenge and see what you have in the pantry to make some of this with us. All right, guys, so I'm on to pizza. You can stay with me and figure that one out. We're going to do homemade pizza and chicken off the farm, that kind of thing. So feel free to stick around and join us on that. Okay, so now that we've got our pesto sauce together, we're going to go ahead and make some dinner. Why not, right? So we're going to put it on a pizza and do a pesto chicken pizza. So with this, what we want to do is we want two 2 cups of flour, and then you want to set aside another 1/3 cup of flour, possibly even, and then a second 1/3 cup of flour, because that's what you're going to need your dough with. Then we are going to take 1 packet of instant dry yeast. We're going to put that in the bowl. Usually, if you're just starting out and you don't know, I know the consistency that I like and I can get this done, so I went ahead and put all of my flour in. You can start with just as 1 cup and then add flour as you need it. You may need that additional 1/3 cup to get that nice pastry soft dough feeling to get that done. Then you're going to take your instant dry yeast. And now if you don't have these packets and we're working out of the pantry, you can't find these anywhere, then you're going to go into your storage and you're going to use 2 1/4 teaspoons of that yeast. And that will equal what's in these packets. So I have that on hand, but I have these packets and those have an expiration date. My other stuff I store in the freezer, so I don't have to worry about a best by date. So then we go ahead and do that. Then we go ahead and we're going to add in, let's see here as I go, we're going to add in 1 1/2 teaspoons of sugar in here, 3/4 teaspoons of salt. I use Redmond salt, just I think there's a very big difference in the salt that we use. I like this taste better. And then I go ahead and I put in, I do 1/4 teaspoon. You can do as little as 1/8, or if you want to do a little bit more, sometimes I just big helpings because we like garlic, and then we use dry basil leaves and put those in here as well. Then we're going to do 2 tablespoons of olive oil and 1/3 cup of warm water. So I'm going to go ahead, get that. Let's see. And we're going to go 2 tablespoons. 1. Well, ha! All right, so 2 teaspoons is a tablespoon. So we're just going to dirty 1. So now we have that in there. Now I like a really good organic unfiltered extra virgin olive oil. That's what I use in here. I use that a lot. Then we're going to go with 3/4 cups of warm water. Excuse me. Don't know why I couldn't think of that. All right, there's 1, 2, and 3. Okay. So now we're going to go in, and what I do, I just kind of make a well in here. Get everything stirred up and going. Ooh, it smells so good. Now what I've done in the beginning, as I was prepping everything, I went ahead and I got another bowl prepped. And so this other bowl, you can brush it with olive oil. And then when we go to put the dough in and transfer it, we're going to go ahead and lightly sprinkle it with flour so it doesn't stick to the bowl when it rises. I've often I made pizza for my aunt, and I had it rise. She's like, just make it and roll it out. And I said, no, I don't do that. I make sure that mine it rises, and then I punch it down and use it and do what I need to do. And she said, I've never done that. Well, everybody that ate the pizza said it was the best pizza that they've ever had. So I like mine to rise. All right, super quick, super easy. So we're going to take from our other bowl and we're just going to take a little bit of flour, sprinkle it on in here, and we've got the salt. Okay, got that, and then pick her up, put her on here, take a clean dish towel. And we're just going to set her aside for 30 minutes. We're going to take our pizza pan, throw her in there. Now this is an important step, so you don't want bubbles in your dough. So you want to take a fork. Got that. Okay, now it's time to add some of our pesto. So I'm pulling this down because I want half of that for the next pizza. So I've got all that pretty well split. And you're just going to spread this around. Share the love. Beautiful. Oh my gosh, this smells so good. All right, now we need chicken. All right, so I already had some pre-made chicken in the refrigerator. Right, nothing goes to waste. Okay, so I already had some chicken in the refrigerator, and this is left over from that. I'll cook it up a lot of times, leave it in a baggie, and she and I will have it on salads. So I'm just chopping this up. There's no rhyme or reason to this, just however you like it, how much chicken you want, you decide. Okay, put this back in here for the second pizza. And what do I do with my cheese? All right, so I'm going to put a little Parmesan cheese over this. Yeah, we had the Romano in there. I like cheese. All right. And we're going to move on to the mozz. This is mozzarella. Be very generous with your mozzarella. You get a nice cheesy pizza that way. If you don't like a nice cheesy pizza, go light. That's the fun thing about making your own pizza. Just do it however you want. Sometimes I'll add onions to this too. Sometimes I'll even, instead of the pesto, I'll do it basically the same way. Instead of using pesto though, I will use Alfredo sauce and just go ahead and make out some Alfredo sauce and throw it in there. I'll have to do a video on Alfredo sauce for you guys sometime. You'll never buy another jar at the store again. So, here's the question. What is the perfect temperature for a fresh pizza? So, Italian Christmases are super funny. And so, Rose and Jerry both immigrated from Sicily. And so, we all get together and at usually Ange and Mario's house. And so, we get together. That's my god sister and her family. And so, we'll get together and I think it wasn't last year, it was the year before. And we decided to do a pizza cook-off. And that was a lot of fun. So we were trying to figure out, Angie did some pizzas, Rose helped, and then I did some pizzas. And we took them over there and put them in the oven. And it was really funny because the conversation was, what's the perfect temperature? And all of us kind of stood around and we all had several different answers. So we looked it up. We live in America, so we just Googled it. And when we Googled it, the perfect temperature, they say, is 450 degrees. And I thought, man, that's way too high. No, it's 450 degrees. It really works. So we're going to preheat our oven, go to 450 degrees when the pizza's done. Then I'll give you a shot of that, and we'll be right back. All right, so here we are back with the pizza. This is the first one. Second one's still in there. And let me show you. Let's see what I've got here. So I've sliced her up. Let's make sure that I got all of it. Whew, fresh out of the oven, it's hot. All right, so there's the cheesy goodness with the pesto, and that's what we're looking at for dinner. So you guys, like I said, just go to your pantry, see what you can do. I want to thank Miss Lippy and Thanks for letting me join you, and I hope you're happy with the video that I did. And again, I challenge everybody, go to your pantry and see what you can find. There's substitutions for everything. All right, guys, until next time, go live a life gun-free.
Thanks, Milo.